We are always ready to communicate, commune with you. In fact, we are constantly communing/communicating with you, for we are one. While using his vessel physical terrain, you can experience that there are times that we are one and hours that we are not. However, since we resonate beyond the frequency time, we always are one with you now. One of the hardest adjustments to your fifth dimensional US will be the release of the illusion of time. This challenge is exceptionally difficult for our masters in major cities, which are governed by time. On the other hand, companies that work with the Earth does not have this difficulty because they already live within the Gaia Now flow. Therefore, we ask you to connect deeply with Gaia. This winter-summer in the southern hemisphere the landings start in a certain way. The landings are not in areas, but in people. In other words, people will begin to flow more easily into the now. Once in the now, which is a fifth dimensional state of consciousness and above, you will begin to remember your galactic consciousness and heavenly, and then their galactic and celestial memories. In other words, you will begin to awaken to your true self. All of you chose to send a fragment of the essence of his galactic consciousness and /or celestial, genetic coding, and then memory for the higher consciousness of your Earth vessel. As your consciousness expands into the fifth dimension and above, you increasingly will remember your galactic/celestial US is a dimensionally higher component of your physical self. Some of you are predominantly representing the angelic kingdom and others are predominantly representing the Galactic Federation. Galactic and celestial work as one in the fifth dimension and above. Therefore, the bond of galactic and celestial representatives grounded greatly assist Gaia. So members of our team distance to Earth unite with their own US expressions, they can share the drive of this multidimensional consciousness with other celestial and galactic grounded. This way you will create a very powerful multidimensional energy field. By joining this energy field with the physical Earth, you will assist immensely Gaia. You are building their unity consciousness of the latter by unite with the heart of its US galactic and /or heavenly. Remain in constant contact with its US galactic/heavenly. Join those who have merged with its US galactic/heavenly. Join with the Earth Gaia. The order of these unit expressions is not important, for order is a three-dimensional term. As your consciousness resonates more and more to the fifth dimension, you are finding that many physical concepts are becoming obsolete. Thus, there is a unity consciousness of the stairs. This latter begins by remembering that you are multidimensional beings who are ready to connect with the expressions of their ever-expanding you. This conscious decision to unite with their galactic and /or celestial energies and land that energy field expanded in Gaia's body is the first step to assist Gaia with his ascension. Remember, what the Gaia beings experience greatly affects the entire planet. The majority of humanity has forgotten that Gaia is a living being who volunteered to be the school for the rise in its sector of space. Gaia, just like you, made promises from higher dimensions of reality without realizing how it would be extremely difficult to fulfill these promises in the lower frequencies of the physical plane. In addition, these promises were made long before his planetary rate dropped so severely after the destruction of Atlantis. Because of Gaia drop lower in the third dimension, the forces of darkness could be so present in your planet. To watch the beloved Gaia, your galactic and celestial I volunteered to take form in his body to assist in lifting its frequency. Many of you took his first earthly vessel in the Atlantic fall, not realizing that you need to continue reincarnating in your planet for the duration of his three-dimensional shape. Brave ones, we, the galactic, gods and ascended masters who have guided you for your many incarnations, we were happy to tell you that the bugle ringtone is already sounding. The touch bugle is a strongly expressed demand or a request for action. To effectively respond to this call to watch Gaia, those who can remember your multidimensional self need to come together in peace and love. The forces of darkness are very strong, but the hour is now. Gaia has waited enough for those who abused her find her inner light. It cannot wait, it is now. This now, Gaia must respond to his touch the clarion call to return to the higher frequencies of your planetary expression of US. The best way to watch Gaia is by uniting with the higher frequencies of your multidimensional self. Then you will be able to perceive the higher light always on Gaia expansion to join in the glorious now she planetary expression. We need to remind you, our dear, using a human vessel, you are not the vessels they are using. It is magnificent multidimensional beings who volunteer to use a vessel to deploy your awareness on your body. The seed of your multidimensional self was dormant at different stages of latency in human form that you are using. Beloved volunteers, the bugle ringtone sounded within you. So, is the now you to fully awaken to the infinite wisdom, the multidimensional power and the unconditional love of your true self dimensionally higher. By fully awake we mean that you, 1. Remember all of who you are. 2. Remember how to live in constant contact with this you. 3. Remember your many lifetimes test. 4. Remember the mission that you have volunteered to fulfill. 5. Remember that your mission begins now. Now we will detail each point above. 1. Remember all of who you are. This recall is not as difficult as it sounds, as your inner child will be of great assistance. So take your subconscious to connect with your inner child still remembers many of the versions of your multidimensional self. With the help of your inner child, you may remember the games that you did, the thoughts were and where their imaginations took them. This memory of your child eye will leave a puzzle of memories that you can write as an adult. By following the clues of his childhood memories, you can remember what you call past lives. These memories are actually parallel lives and / or alternatives that are all occurring in the now of the one. Once you get to connect with those versions of the self-dimensional, they will create a staircase leading to the highest expressions of your multidimensional self. Understand, you have had many lives, some of them parallel or at slightly different frequencies on which you exercised into the now of your personal and planetary ascension. 2. Remember to be in constant contact with that you. Remember that you are your best friend. When you hear, view and imagine their realities in the higher dimensions, you gradually begin to hear, see and / or imagine a being galactic or celestial light that is now and has always been with you. You can ask for a confirmation for your child. Then you need to release your ego and trust your imagination. Your well-trained three-dimensional ego will probably say, oh, you're being convinced with the idea that a superior being could actually be you. Many of our brave volunteers who entered the wasteland were convinced by the dark that they are only human. What's worse is that you were trained that they were crazy if they believed they were a being of light who took a vase ground. Be brave, our dear team at bay. Ignore the external voices and listen to their US. You are beautiful multidimensional beings who volunteer to use an earthen vessel so that they could better serve Gaia in her time of rebirth. 3. Remember your many lifetimes of testing. Many of you came to Earth in response to the request for assistance Gaia. What you may have missed when it volunteered to enter the evolution of Gaia is that you did it for the duration of her ascension process. And then, you have had many incarnations on Gaia's body. Some of them were very dark, some were lives of quiet desperation, some lives were full of adventures, some full of spiritual awakening, and some of their lives were able to climb back to fifth-dimensional expressions of your multidimensional self. It was during their ascent of lives that you have learned what they should be teaching as a multidimensional leader, which is like surrendering to the ascension process. All of you have taken a lot of life test in preparation for this now the planetary ascension. Many of you are very impatient in your current life to continue to rise. Once you remember of your life test, the impatience of waiting for a life will be small compared to the many lives you've ever had in service to the beloved Gaia. 4. Remember from the mission that you have volunteered to meet. Know that you are your true US is the key to unlock the door to the memory of his mission. Again, you gather all the puzzle of all the things you like to read, see and do. When you allow yourself to remember that your imagination is actually his fifth-dimensional thought, you can consciously hear and see what you like to think they are doing. This type of imagination is a test of who you really are and what you really will. Therefore, this imagination shape their confidence and empower your mind. You will know when you're now because you will actually find doing and manifesting what you previously only imagined. Your imagination is like the creative right hemisphere of your brain communicates with the analytical left hemisphere of your brain. Your right brain contains the blueprint of your mission and your left brain materializes this plan in your physical world. It is important that the two brain hemispheres of their 3D are in alignment with one another and with their multidimensional mind. We accompany this process of alignment in your now. 5. Remember that your mission begins now. When you come together more and more with their superior US expressions, time will become increasingly confused because you will begin to live in the now. So live in the now. You will remember that your mission begins now. You will remember that time and space are illusions of the 3rd/4th dimension. In as dimensionally higher expressions of the US, you live in here now because you experience the flow in a large number of possible realities. When you wish to participate in a given reality, you choose to pay attention to it and decree with your thoughts, I choose to participate in this reality. Then you extend your unconditional love for that reality to participate in this reality until they felt full from this experience. That now, you draw their attention and send another gift of unconditional love as you release all attachment to his involvement with this reality. Even looking like you are wearing a vase 3-dimensional terrain, it's you as chose the circumstances of your life right now. This important life is tailored so that you can remember that you are the creator of your reality. Which reality you choose to create? Reality that you are creating now? If you wish to remain on their current reality of expression, send her unconditional love and gratitude. Unconditional love will align you with the highest frequency of any reality that you are gathering. Also, have gratitude for the substance that is at hand. Double the substance indefinitely. On the other hand, if you are confronting or living a reality that you wish to not try, just say, I refuse to participate in this reality. Then you draw their attention as they tell her, blessed be. Be blessed means, there are many blessings to be experienced if you decide to accept them. In this way you are not abandoning the situation. Instead, you are giving people this reality, the key to solving whatever it is that they are prepared to release. As your multidimensional self allows them to resolve their own issues when you need to, you allow others to go through their own process of discovery without emotion or judgment. Also, what may seem to them to be a grave error may be the only way that person go within to find their own multidimensional self. Our dear on the rise, we see this strength within you and that you may have forgotten it. Turn to the inside of your mind to see the magnificent you that lives within its earthen vessel. You are your multidimensional self. You are the unity consciousness ladder.